Hey, what's up, guys? Dave Kunsteck here again. I am here with Wayne. He's the owner of Birthright Brewing. We're going to tour the brewery. As you can see, everything here is accessible and open. You can see the whole process. But we're going to go through this here real quick. So to start things off, Wayne, we just want to know about your story. Like, how did this place open? Like, what caused you to found Birthright Brewing?
So we were looking to do something in the local community that we live in. So I live in Lower Nazareth, but we're looking for something in the Nazareth area here. We came across this kind of gem here on South Main Street.
And what was this beforehand?
It's called the Nazareth Run-In. It was a sneaker store at that time. So myself and our partner Mike Daly, we basically gutted this whole thing and removed walls, rebuilt the kitchen, pretty much did everything from scratch, pouring floors, building the bars out, kind of everything. And then from there, we kind of were able to get this kind of industrial, urban vision that we had in mind and kind of make it come to life.
And how long you been open for?
We opened February of 2017.
And how many beers do you have right now?
Right now we have 7 beers on draft. Yep.
Cool. All right, so as far as your food, and we're gonna talk about specialties, like what are the specialties you have here?
Well, I mean, our main thing is our wood burning oven. So everything that comes out of this wood burning oven, and with that, our pizza. Our pizza is kind of the main staple that we create with this. So it takes us anywhere from 90 seconds to about 2 minutes to cook a pizza in this thing. I mean, that's how hot it is.
And is the reason why they call it wood burn because the edges are burnt, or
it gives it a nice little char crispiness to it for sure. But other than that, it's just like the technique. So right now we're just using a gas assist to kind of get our oven up to temperature, and then once we're open, then it's just all wood from there on out.
All right, so now on from the food. You mentioned that people come here for the IPAs; they love them, but as they're named. They're named after stories, so it's not just a random name.
So sure, so a lot of our beer names come after a story, something that's happened here or to one of us or something like that. For example, we have, when we first opened, we had one beer was called the Constable, and kept getting a few parking tickets here in Nazareth, and so when you don't pay your parking tickets, then you start getting the constable will come after you. And so we had some food vendors here at one point. They wouldn't let me leave, or the constable would not let me leave. So they're all divvying up money to kind of bail me out before they put me in some cuffs. Another one is 15-minute parking, and so we have some neighbors that kind of watch us and make sure that our vendors are only here for the 15 minutes. So that's like our famous 15-minute parking sign. That's one of what our.
You're saying your neighbors don't appreciate you here?
No, they like us that we're here, but sometimes taking up the spots a little bit too
for their business
too long.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Let's see what else. Good beer, no space. So that's like that's our password for our Wi-Fi here, and so everyone's always asking, "What's your password?" So we ended up kind of creating a name for that. That's another popular one.
2 more I wrote down here. You said were good stories. Were Waving at Babies and Kill Shop.
So sure. So I don't know if you can see it, but across the street there's a little photo gallery, and there's a little baby in the window. And at the time, one of our servers thought that was a real baby in the window, and she kept waving to it. And finally she realized, and we had to walk her across the street to show her that it was a photo, a painting, and not actual real baby. So that's where that one came up, and that was we got a pretty good laugh from that.
And then how about the Kill Shot?
Kill Shot. So that's one of our newer beers. It's a Vienna lager, and we use that for when we partnered a few weeks ago with Skeggy's axe throwing company over in downtown Easton. So Kill Shot is the name of like one of the throws or one of the targets that they use, and so that's how we came up with that name for that particular event.
So next 2 pieces, again, real quick, I was going to go over with Phil here. He's going to talk about the wings and your specials, and then we're going to do a real quick tour of the brewing process. So Phil, when we were talking, you said the wings here are super special. He's always sell out of them. And there's a long process involved in making them. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So we sous vide the wings at 150 degrees for 45 minutes. Sous vide is a process where we put a lot of aromatics and spices into our wings, and then we vacuum seal them, and then they're put into a water bath Like I said, that's at 150 degrees. We cook that for 45 minutes. We have to cool that down for another half hour to avoid any bacteria or anything in there that may lie when doing something like that. And then what we do is we take the wings, we put them in our wood fire oven, we get them real crispy, we flip them around, and then we'll top that with a little crumbled blue cheese, some pickled shallots, a little microgreen, and then I do a little homemade hot sauce and blue cheese dressing on the side.
And how long does that process take?
It takes about 2 hours for the sous vide process, and then another about 20 minutes inside of the oven to cook to finish them
over
off.
2 hours there to make some wings.
Yeah. They're super tender. Whenever you sous vide anything, it really breaks down the meat a lot, and makes them melt in your mouth. They're almost falling off the bone when you get them at your
So
table.
they're obviously limited supply. If you want them, you need to come early.
Yeah, I need to get in here early. I mean, Thursday nights I probably sell anywhere between 15 to 18 orders of those. We're a small batch kitchen. We make all our own breads in house by my great baker Ty. Everything is made in house. All our dough is fermented aged sourdough. We have a starter in there that's been going ever since this place is open. Starter's used for making the sourdough, giving it that sour taste. Also, we do, like we said, all the pizzas and everything. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. We were actually back with you in a minute. We're gonna go check out the brewing, and then when we're done, we'll come back to get the restaurant week specials.
Awesome.
So all the vessels that have like a bucket underneath them, they're kind of actively fermenting right now.
Okay.
So that's kind of like our larger industrial airlock. So nothing can kind of go back up into the vent and or affect the product at that point. This long piece of equipment here is our canning line. So we have a mobilized canning line. And that's okay.
Okay.
So this is a brew house. We have a 5-barrel brew house.
Yep.
We purposely went small so that we could do small batches, constantly rotating, constantly new fresh beer. So when people come in, they can, there's always something different on for them to try.
All right. Again, so which one did you repeat the most?
So we typically don't repeat, or very rarely, I should say. So again, we're small batch, so we kind of want to just constantly turn over new, different beers. We may have some similar beers, but again, they're always going to be kind of evolving and different at this point.
So what's the process? We can go through it real quick.
Sure. So we have our mash louder ton over here in our kettle, and so dry malt will get mixed with hot water here in this vessel here. We have brakes on the inside that are constantly spinning, churning, and that's basically just creating a sugar water for us to collect over here, bring to a boil where we add our hops, bittering hops, and then what we'll do is send it through this heat exchanger here. Heat exchanger will cool it down to
This piece on the end here?
This piece right here. Yep. And that'll cool it down to anywhere from 50 degrees to 70 degrees, depending on what type of yeast we're using at that time. And we'll transfer from this brew house over into these larger, taller vessels over here with the buckets underneath them. So here we'll pitch our yeast, we'll ferment through here. These are tonical, so that what happens is any of the solids and or true yeast we'll go and collect at the bottom. We can remove that and we'll have kind of clean beer from this racking arm up. And then once it's done fermenting, we'll transfer into one of these vessels here, which is called a bright tank. Here's where we carbonate it, condition it, and then we can either keg it off or serve it right from the vessel itself.
Cool. And these go right through these pipes up here?
So all these pipes up here are glycol, so these are all jacketed, so we can control the temperature to 1 or 2 degrees. So each beer, each style has a different temperature that's optimal for fermentation, and we can kind of control that and then put on, 5 different beers, 5 different temperatures, and control our fermentations that way.
Cool, so the beer's fresh right to the taps at the front.
Correct.
Cool. All right, man, that's awesome. Let's go back and we can grab Phil here again, get the specials.
bars and stuff, like these are all hand-made bars. So these came from my buddy's farm out in New Jersey. So this is all black walnut wood. Took us quite a while to do this, but
It's impressive for just being a shoe store 18 months ago to what the way this place looks now.
yeah, absolutely.
But, all right, where you at, Phil? All right, so Restaurant Week is over on Saturday. What are the deals you guys are running until then?
So for this week, we're doing a 3-course menu for $25. You can get a choice between our homemade bread and butter, the Cajun cauliflower, which is another hot seller for us, and also I'm doing a spinach and squash salad with a little chipotle, maple, vinaigrette, some squash, candied walnuts, goat cheese, and apples. Then for our entrees, you can get our staple margarita pizza. Along with that, I did a 24-hour molasses brine airline chicken breast. That comes with a sweet potato and bacon hash and some beer braised kale. And then also I'm doing a portobello, mozzarella, and basil sandwich with some heirloom tomato, a balsamic aioli, and then a homemade sour sun-dried tomato focaccia. For dessert, my baker Ty made some chocolate peanut butter whoopie pies. And we also do our in-house homemade chocolate chip cookies with some ganache.
That is impressive.
Thank you so
For
much.
25 bucks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we want to get people in here, have a good time, enjoy our food and our beer, and just show them what Nazareth, what we have to offer. We've only been here for a little bit, so, we really want to show everybody that, we can compete with anybody there in Bethlehem or East, and our food's just as good.
absolutely. So any final thoughts, Wayne?
No, then just come out to Nazareth, enjoy Restaurant Week, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys.
There you go, Lehigh Valley. That was stop number 3. Keep watching out for the next one.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.